Greet you all students of MA Final. This is paper 4th, Indian Writing in English, and Unit C. We have already started Ezekiel, poet, lover, and bird watcher. And through the technique of parallelism, the poet has highlighted his passion for writing poetry. And this is beneficial to the young aspirants who are interested in writing poetry. It's, they would enjoy creative experience. So, and see, very interesting way. He has also, discussed the art of bird watching and, of course, love making also. And love which is not confined to sensual only, it is platonic love and spiritual love. This is what exactly in his poem he tends to highlight. Now, when we talk about Nissen Askel's poem, poet, lover, and bird watcher. First and foremost point, you must understand that you students of MA Final, you should have idea about his other important poems because it is in continuation. And here I would like to highlight his another poem, and the poem which is the title of that, yes, Enterprise. And if you just have a look, let's see, this is a quatrain, 4 lines, you would have better understanding when you delve deep in the poem Poet, Lover, and Bird Watcher. Now, you should also, try to understand and study other poems at this level. His other poems like Creation and Poetry, which always highlight the point that Nissen Askel, he has really great passion for writing poems. And see, he also, now the purpose is to inspire others also. It is source of inspiration for the readers as well. Writing poetry, now what are important characteristic features and what are the qualities, virtues, prerequisite for writing poetry? And even see the similarity now, common qualities in writing poetry and love making and bird watching. And now I would like to here give example of one of his famous poems like Enterprise. Now, yes, because it is in continuation. Now 2 stages the poet has mentioned here, and some negative aspects he has highlighted. Enterprise, life is a metaphor of enterprise. If you write poetry, if you say for instance bird watching, in that also in love making, so in all these activities it is an enterprise, and whatever task you get involved, you have some mission and you must have some qualities, and without that it's not possible to get achievement or to get success in life. So see the question, I started as pilgrimage. Every task we have this opinion, we have this much of inner urge that whenever we do something, it's a sort of pilgrimage, he has pointed out. And in the beginning, exalting minds and making all the burden light. And see the various stages he has mentioned that in childhood we are very careful, without miseries and without any kind of anxiety. But later on, what happened? This is what exactly 2 stages he has discussed in this particular poem, Enterprise. And that life which is full of adverse circumstances, frustration, and different experiences. In now this poem, the The poet, lover, and bird watcher. Why it is important? Because now he is, going forward, stepping ahead towards the third and final stage, and which is really reaching the zenith of success. Because writing poetry is a pious task, it is a great contribution to the society. It is, it's a kind of reciprocal relationship between the writer, between the poet, between man of letters, an artist, and the reader. Therefore, the third stage is very significant. The poetry, this poem, it is marked by his third stage. And now, what is that third stage? Yes, it is a journey from darkness to illumination. And see, the points that I would highlight today, I would discuss. These are certain points that say, it's first of all, you must have idea about 3P. The poet, in his biography, he has mentioned this important point, and with great interest, because this is one of the most celebrated poems. His favorite, and one of his interviews he himself has mentioned that, oh, poet, lover, and bird watcher, it is my favorite poem. Therefore, see which kind of style the poet has used in his colloquial, I mean very conversational style. Because earlier I mentioned this point, Lysimachus's revolutionary spirit, he always lay emphasis, he would always lay emphasis on the significance of intellectual freedom. There is not any kind of imposition when you write something very interesting. You write something which is sort of contribution to the society, and even sometimes if it is not understood by the ordinary people, what is the significance of it by laymen? So the style is very a simple conversational style. And yes, with 2 stanzas and 10-line stanzas, and we have iambic pentameter in this. The iambic pentameter, this is written, these stanzas. And now when he, in the first line, when he say points out to force the pace and never to be still, and is not the way. So way here, method. Now what is actually adequate, and what is proper method of writing a poem? So he has highlighted the method. Now when you say, obviously when you think that this is right method, first and foremost point is that qualities. What are the qualities? Prerequisite qualities. And therefore, and these, yes, parallelism, now similarity, common quality in all these 3 activities. And therefore, and the poet's purpose is, what is his purpose? His just to establish the best method of poetics, writing poetry. And 3P, passion for 3P, philosophy, poetry, and poverty, empathizing with others. And that is also, I mean, human sensitivity. It is very important in writing poetry. And the poet's view about that, the poetry, it shapes the mind and character, and it is an expression of human sensibility. And the poet is also of opinion that it is a discovery of truth. Yes, of course, discovery of truth and development of human sensibility, and intellectual and emotional freedom is very necessary for that. Now the act of watching birds for knowledge and in-depth study is called ornithology. So this is bird watching. This is what poet, he has, I mean, he is also interested in, that is the area of interest. That's why deliberately, significantly rather, he has taken example of this especially. Now the importance of, now what is the significant quality, prominent quality for writing poetry, bird watching, and love making? The first and foremost quality he has mentioned is, yes, patience. To force the pace and never to be still is not the way. It means the step ahead. You should not be very restless or all the time in hurry. No, patience. You have to wait and and then the study birds, because it requires patience. If you have deeper understanding, in-depth study of all these three, and see the technique, the style in which sometimes he points out very cleverly, say first say writing poetry, then he quickly he tends to switch over to watching birds, and then love making also. So this is epigrammatic brevity. This style is very concise, marked by precision of expression. So therefore he says the study birds or women. If you observe women first and even observe birds also, fluttering wings and their food habits, and all these their likings, dislikings. So even about women also, in just two words, phrases birds and women, he has encapsulated this activity. And simultaneously he has always deeper ideas, understanding about the writing of poem. So simultaneously he has always in his mind writing poem, composition of poems. So students constantly, when he gives the example of love making and bird watching, all the time symbolical significance of that, metaphorically, see the he has pointed out it. And when he says that the best poets wait for words, so notion of waiting is very important, and the act of watching birds for knowledge, and the importance of patience and all. And three acts, and in which three acts, the quality of being patient, and this is associated with writing poetry. So patient waiting is very important. And see, when you have patience, I mean it is prerequisite, you have to have it. And if you are in hurry, you cannot write a good poem. So students, this creative experience, it is integrated with aesthetic experience, and that leads to good achievement, success. Whenever you start doing any work, whenever you have a specific goal, your purpose is to attain it, to get success. So from that point of view, it is very important that you must have patience and patient waiting. So these two notions, waiting and patience, they are associated with each other. And so only one quality, that you have willpower, that just willpower, that no, I'll write poem, and you all of a sudden you start writing it, and then you don't have you lacking patience, you lose patience. No, then one cannot write good poem. So this is very important for that. And it's not suffice, one quality is not suffice. And see then the temperament, for instance, the balance of mind, calm and quiet temperament. So these qualities are very important along with that. So this is one common. And then the observation made by the poet, yes, that is this observation in which the poet, he points out that the hunt is not, it's an exercise of will, but patient love relaxing on a hill. So there are certain activities of birds, you enjoy it. See beautiful images in which the poet has used the bird sitting, chirping of birds, fluttering wings, so various activities. So you have to hunt. Now there is metaphor of research, metaphor of discovery. And when you tend to discover something, for that you have to work hard. And again, see the word repetition. There is a, it's sort of reiteration, not repetition. Reiteration of patience. So metaphor of research in this poem is very important. When you undertake any kind of enterprise, any research work, so these three acts, in a way, they are obviously on the way to discovery. You have to discover. And what is the purpose of that? Fulfillment of your achievement, fulfillment of your goal. And what is the goal? Writing poem. And poem, you at the same time, you should do justice to that, the act that you have selected. So all these three acts, the common points that he has pointed out. And then, patient love making relaxing on a hill. See, then we have images of hill, and we have certain other images of, for instance, river. At that time, the idea underlying is that the observation is very important. The observation made by the poet, lover, and bird watcher. And this is very noteworthy here. This point is that now which is based on the movement. The next point is, yes, movement is very important. And see, this is the axis of human life. It's name of action, mobility, movement. Now, what kind of movement? We have, different dimensions of movement. Again, symbolical significance of this idea. When the poet, movement of bird, and even, movement, the word in which see the expressions, it has, deeper connotation, inference. We have inference that even the facial expressions of women, when we talk about. So again, the minute observation is very important. So we will continue other points in the next turn. Thank you.